the end zone. Picked off, but
Yes, we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins #1.
What's up, Dolphin fans? So, a little bit of a weird episode. We're going to talk about something that I don't think anybody is actually talking about right now. But it's always been a little theory or conspiracy, whatever you want to call it, that's been in my head. So I'm going to dive into why, you know what, maybe this actually could happen. Let's go. This offseason has just been crazy this year, which really is another reason this video shouldn't sound all that bad. I mean, OBJ just had a really random trade to the Browns, and Antonio Brown's trade to the Raiders wasn't exactly random, but it was still a top receiver getting traded. So that would leave us next with Julio Jones for the Atlanta Falcons, right? I mean, they're already having a lot of problems extending his contract. He is projected to get $20 million, but maybe the Dolphins are secretly talking about him right now. But why do I think this other than this offseason has been really crazy? Well, for starters, Julio still isn't going to any of the Falcons' practices, which means he's holding out again. And I'm sorry, but I just don't know if the Falcons actually want to spend all that money on him. I mean, they drafted Calvin Ridley in the draft last year when they already had Mohamed Sanu and Julio. And despite him being an elite player, they still aren't really being all that quick to pay him. And I'm not really sure if this means anything, but last year and the year before, he took a really long time to even get a touchdown. So that doesn't really help the Falcons' case. But why the Dolphins? I mean, right now, Julio isn't following anyone on Instagram. And I unfortunately don't have any proof, but at the time, the only page he was following was a Dolphin fan page called The Fins Wave. Which, by the way, if you're a Dolphin fan, follow that page, because he needs some followers, and I actually really like this page. But anyway, so were the Dolphins secretly talking about this to the Falcons? It wouldn't be that crazy. After all, they got a lot more cap space by releasing many players this year, and I did mention that they could use a true number one receiver in my previous draft video. And they also reported that they tried to make a monster trade for Matt Stafford last year, but no one knew about it. So, just because it sounds crazy and no one knows about it, doesn't really mean it's not happening. Do I think they should actually do this though? Julio is a great player and seems to be a great leader on the field too. So the Dolphins could definitely use someone like that on a team like theirs. And I guess they do have the money for it now, but they don't necessarily really need it at the moment just because they have to spend all that money on a franchise QB and other players eventually. And like I said, they already have some pretty solid underrated receivers, but I also don't think Julio would hurt. This probably isn't actually going to happen, but still something to think about. Alright, so tell me what you think about that, and I'll see you guys later.